Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about Milorganite and how you can save some money when you're using it. I recommend using Milorganite because you can't burn your lawn with it, for one, which is really useful for new homeowners. Two, you can put it down any time, which is another useful thing. And three, it's actually the best type of fertilizer. What it actually does is it feeds the organisms in your soil, which then feed the grass the nitrogen that's released. And it's a slow release, so you don't have that huge growth and then nothing. But there's a little trick that you can save a lot of money with. Now this bag cost me, I think it was $13. So, you know, for 2,500 feet, that's gonna add up pretty quick, right? Now some people, they don't care, they're just gonna keep buying it anyways because it's the best that's around. That's great. But if you live in certain areas, there are alternatives. Like State Fertilizer. It's the exact same thing. I'll look at the 430. This is 520, so I mean, a little bit different NPK, but essentially it's the same thing. It's the same process. Both of these companies, they're taking raw sewage, they're processing it, putting it into pelletized form. So we're actually, by using this stuff, we're recycling sewage that used to have to go to landfills. And so there's actually an article on Bay State. I'm sure Milorganite did the same thing, but I just happened to see this article that said that Massachusetts is saving tons of money because they used to have to ship out all this sewage to a landfill, and then they started making this, and then as a backup, they kept a contract with landfills, so in case their factory, you know, breaks down or whatever, they still got a place to bring the sewage because they got to bring it somewhere. And I guess now it's so efficient and you know, stable that they don't even have that contract anymore. So now they're not paying any landfill any money to take care of their sewage. It's just all being turned into this. The sod farms use Boston beans, which might actually be the same stuff. But the point is, it's a slow release, natural, organic type fertilizer versus the nitrogen that comes from urea, which is, you know, chemicals, salts, that kind of thing. And yes, those ones have their place, especially in the fall when the microorganisms are going to sleep and they can't process this anymore. That's when you need the urea stuff. But all year round, for the most part, this stuff is great. And some people put it on their yards every week. I do it about monthly. See, I'm not good with schedules, which is why I like to use products that aren't gonna kill me if, you know, I put too much or too little or whatever. I don't like to be dependent on a specific schedule. And when you're doing some of the 4-step type products, if you don't stick to the schedule exactly, then there can be some pretty bad effects. You don't want to burn your lawn and all that. But anyway, so pricing, this right here is $3.50. So let's see how much area bonds. So this will cover 2,000 square feet. So $13, $3.50. Now the only thing is, if you want to get it for $3.50, you got to go to the factory in Quincy, Massachusetts and get it, which I'm willing to do. I get my car filled up, and I actually have it all stored right there. Got more stored over there, and then I just have it so whenever I need it, it's there to go. There are other versions. There's, I think there's one in New Jersey. I mean, I don't pay attention to the names of them because there's there's so many of them now, and they're in different areas that it doesn't affect me. But you know, a lot of these places, if you live nearby, they're just trying to get rid of the sewage. So $3.50 a bag, that's a huge deal. Now the reason Milorganite costs a lot more, at least where I am, is because I have to buy it from a store, who has to ship it and do all that stuff. So I'm sure if you live close to Milorganite, you probably can get it cheaper if you go direct to them or closer, because the shipping costs alone is going to be a lot less. So I mean, it's nothing against them. They're not the ones, making the 13 bucks. It's the middleman, all that stuff. And I mean, so it's a great product. So I mean, it's not like you're getting ripped off if you're paying 13 bucks. But if there's a local version for $3, you can save 10 bucks a whack. Multiply that by however many bags you need per app. I need about 4 or 5 bags for one app, which after doing the math, I realized I'm putting too little down. It just seems like it's a lot of fertilizer in here, but because it's slow release and because it's low nitrogen, you gotta dump a lot more down. So yeah, that's what I use. If you have a local area, if you know of a local supplier that does the same thing as Milorganite or base State Fertilizer, feel free to post down below. Share with other people. I'll see if I can find the other names of them, because yeah, we want to all have better lawns. So there you go. That's my tip for today.